Agriculture's the highest driver for our local economy.
It's only going to grow bigger and bigger because the world needs more food.
A lot of people don't realise where an orange comes from, do they? Like, everything doesn't just come from a supermarket.
It first came from Graham Forrester around Northern Mallee Lens supporting Chaffey to put an application together for the secondary school's agricultural funding to provide a horticulture immersion project at the Chaffey farm. So the purpose of the project is really to try and increase awareness and understanding of the horticultural industry across the Northern Mallee, and in particular around the modern technology and STEM related areas that you can go into, and whether you've got an opportunity to move straight into work out of school or go into vocational education and training through the local TAFE, a university through such things as a Bachelor of Agricultural Science. Those types of things are all available within our local area.
It's not necessarily just all about picking and packing. There's a whole support industry involved in it, a lot of science, a lot of agronomy involved in how we actually get from that point to the end point, which is the product that we see on our tables.
One of the other focuses is to increase the amount of students that undertake Certificate 2 in horticulture, or indeed the VC agricultural programs that are currently delivered through our secondary schools. In the Mildura Specialist School, Redcliffe Secondary College, Chaffey Secondary College, Merbein P10, Orimple Secondary College have all had students attend the project to increase the knowledge and understanding around the wonderful careers in that are available.
Linking our students with the industry of the local area, it's twofold. One, it gives them some sort of prospect of work going onwards, linked to staying in Mildura, being able to live in the area that you've grown up, but also finding a viable employment as well at the same time.
Part of the Victorian Skills Plan 22-23 highlights that there's currently 65% of males in the agriculture, environment and related studies and 35% female. So part of the Northern Mallee Horticulture Project is to try and also encourage females in our local community to consider horticulture. They're estimating 3,000 jobs that'll be available in agriculture. The workforce in the agricultural, forestries and fishing at the moment is 68,000 across Victoria. As a part of the regional Victoria, 75% is based around agriculture.
We've taken the approach that this is a workplace and it's about developing relationships. So they call me by my first name and they understand that we're supervisors.
I really enjoyed going to the Pineangle Farm at Select Harvest, to Southern Cross Farms in Nangelock and learning about the citrus, and I enjoyed going to the Sunnytay Farm and learning about everything that's there too.
The buy-in that we've had from schools is that it's opening students up to seeing what our community, our horticulture community, has to offer. I've had several students say, as we've gone through the immersion program, that they didn't know that there was anything like this here in Mildura. They're blown away by the jobs. We're looking at science, we're looking at technology, the process of growing plants and learning about plant growth in labs, and then they move out into hothouses and greenhouses, and just watching their growth and the reactions every week is really worthwhile and beneficial for them.
I really love the industry visits. I didn't think around here specifically there would be as much technology involved, but there's quite a bit.
If we can expose those students that have a bit of an interest in science and give them that exposure to the laboratory, there are a lot of job opportunities right here in this area if they have science as the basis of their career.
It's been fun. They really enjoy it. They go through their OH&S in the morning. They do a task or an activity on the farm. From there they go out in the bus to one of the industry organisations to have a look at what they've got to highlight in their industry and how they might become aware of that.
Malura is a global nursery that is located in every major horticultural region in the world. The company globally grows 120 million plants a year through 3 different propagation techniques: tissue culture, grown in the lab, in vitro, seed and cutting techniques.
When we got to go to the nursery lab and see all the plants getting grafted and see how they grow up and be grafted at the same time, it's
really changed my perspective of going into this type of career path.
Absolutely. We're encouraged by the numbers that visited the nursery. The highly specialised field of tissue culture is very rare in the workplace and is highly sought after, both in Australia and globally.
Basically what plant tissue culture is, to keep it simple, is we mix the chemicals and the hormones. For example, if you want short plants, tall plants, you want more side shoots, you only take those hormones and then make them in a higher concentration, and then you grow the plants in a gel. So basically you grow the plants the way you want to, and then you multiply them in the lab until you reach a certain target. If you were to do it in a traditional way in the nursery, it would probably take you a year to build that. But if you would do it in a lab, you could reach those numbers in 3 months. That is amazing.
I'm Ray Harris, I'm the General Manager here at ALTSA. ALTSA stands for Analytical Laboratories and Technical Services Australia. We test for pesticides, we test for microbes such as E. coli, Salmonella, Listeria, the list goes on. So the students provided us soil samples. They could actually see the results, and in fact some of the results which were really interesting, they had the peas growing in crusher dust and they grew terrifically well. Discovering why was that happening in that regard versus the compost and highly organic material that didn't grow as well. I think a lot of people assume that there aren't jobs for scientists here, so they plan to go to university and never come back again. The equipment we use next door, we've spent over $1 million just in the one lab.
Yeah, I enjoy my career at ALSA because we are working with high-tech instruments. You will find a great work-life balance. The people are very nice, like everyone is very helpful. So I'm learning a lot of new things at ALSA. So I enjoy my work.
We did see high numbers of females in the groups, which was really nice for us. Through those visits, we looked at water delivery to the farm, main filtration, fertiliser, and then we looked at the technology we use for irrigation monitoring and scheduling.
We use Phytech specifically. We're looking at what the tree actually wants and how we can optimise the water that we apply. It also has other benefits, like we know which filters are going to start blocking first by having pressure data, so we are optimising labour going to clean filters instead of just randomly cleaning filters or catching an issue when it's too late.
The main one I was interested in was the almond industry, learning about different almonds and the food processing, how you can make different spreads of almonds. That's what really interested me, because I didn't know that.
It's a very mechanised industry. We've got a very up-to-date maintenance system in place. The start to finish of getting an almond on your table or on the shelf, there's not any career path that I can think of that most people would not be able to follow just with Select Harvest.
I love the variety. I love being able to go out to farms, to walk around, to look at the trees, the soil, and to grow something and achieve something, and not just myself, but with a team.
We had the kids and the teachers from the NMHI come out for 3 visits and showing them around the farm, our picking processes, tractor driving, and a bit of technology as well. I started just as a tractor driver here. I slowly learnt my way through and worked your way up, so there's plenty of opportunity to grow within the company. We have a tractor set up with a trailer on the front, which will pick up 5 bins at a time to move to the loading bay. Saves a lot of time than just using a forklift, so to speak.
Yeah, so when the students come out to visit us on farm, I went through the reports that I do, the data analytical reports. These include bin analysis data, grading data, patch analysis to know which patches are performing well, and then also the fruit grade analytical programs that we use here.
It was great to see them just smiling, learning, and all sort of taking a little bit of knowledge away with them.
Yeah, so when we have the students visits, it's very good for them to actually come and have a look at technologies that are built all around the world. Technologies that are world class. They come and actually have a look at it and try and get them inspired to sort of see what makes it tick, all the moving bits and pieces that make this equipment work, and put the right fruit in the right box to service our customers, and it really stimulates the kids.
One of the kids said to me today on our visit, I just thought this was a storage facility. I did not know that this is the sort of stuff that's done here. And he said, look at the technology that's being used. Those little comments that we get from the kids speaks volumes. Our community needs to see what we do. It's about maintaining it and supporting it, because then we retain our kids. We're training them up and giving them the skills that they need to be successful.
Horticulture is not your typical farming tractor shovel issue anymore. The opportunities is nearly unlimited.
With newer technology coming through on the technical side is a big part of where we're heading.
The really cool thing about the project is that because we go to so many different industries, we're catering for so many different interests. So what we're seeing is kids are stepping in at their own interest levels, and the boys that are all over the machinery were telling the other kids who have no interest in it about how the machines work. There's that extension and that deep thinking. Kids are teaching kids. That's the beauty of our project, right?
The NOUSH report highlighted between 2020 and 2022, there was currently 2,736 jobs, and they had an expected growth of between 250 new jobs and expected retirements of 150. That's still continued to stay strong and grow. We don't see any reduction in the amount of need around our horticulture industry.
So the advice I give anyone wanting to study agribusiness or agriculture would be to get there and get some work experience behind you.
I actually did my work experience at this site a long time ago. I went to school here at Mildura, I went to Mildura High School. I was motivated and inspired to become a scientist by the time I spent here. They may like science, but unless they can get a feel for what sort of jobs it can lead to, they get a real sense of picturing themselves wearing that lab coat, operating this high-tech equipment, and it inspires them. That's what we're looking to do. We want to give something back. But equally too, they could potentially end up doing studies and working for us, or replacing me one day.
Lots of opportunities for people to consider if they like outdoor work, indoor work, if they want to start off at entry-level positions, or as we all know, there's no wrong door approach to any industry.
We were pleasantly surprised with the Northern Mallee Project. The number of students that came through that were showing interest was encouraging.
They were engaged, they were interested, they enjoyed what they saw. We had something new every time they came out, whether it be pollination and bees or farm equipment, along with looking at the irrigation technology.
I found the project amazing for not just the kids involved, but for myself. I really enjoyed it. It was great, and I think we might get a couple out of that.
During the project, I was considering working for the almond industry because that's what really interested me.
I sincerely hope for everybody's sake that the funding keeps going and gets increased, because without them we lose the connection between industry and emerging leaders that comes from the schools and into our system.
They have no idea, and to sort of see their brains ticking over how machines are making boxes, how it's packing the oranges. So I get a lot out of it, and to me I can see the students are getting a lot out of it.
I was a student, I like science, but I wasn't sure what I could do until I came here. So to have the students coming through now and get exposed is an investment.
We have a new intake every term, so each group that we have don't want to leave.
Since doing this program looking into Year 10, planning on doing a Cert 2 horticulture at TAFE and doing agricultural science throughout Year 10. I would like to become a farm manager one day.
The kids in the school are talking about it. Instead of it being just a project for 12 months, we need to keep the ball rolling.
It teaches you a lot about horticulture and helps you stay interested in it and see what you can do. Just jump in, participate in it.
We've got this amazing facility here. We're central. If we did it over a 5-year period, imagine what we could have here in this community.
I would say if you're really into it, do it because it's really fun.
If I ever had to do it again, I would.
So instead of our kids leaving and never returning, by being exposed to the horticulture industry through the avenue that we're taking with the Immersion project, we're going to retain more of our kids in our community. There's a need and schools are wanting to be part of it. They've gained value from it.